Have you ever heard of blue lobsters, white peacocks, or purple polar bears? No? Then keep watching, as we're about to blow your mind. Let's dive right into it with the rare pink KATYDID. This is a KATYDID. Normally they're green, but every now and then one of them will develop this rare pigmentation similar to recessive genes found in albino animals. It's called erytherism, and that means one color will be predominantly more visible than the rest. In this case, it's pink. These little bugs are so rare that only 1 in every 500 KATYDIDs is born pink. Now, this isn't new. While the first case has been documented back in 1887, not many people got to see these rare bugs in the wild. In addition, green KATYDIDs rely on their coloration to blend into the environment. The pink ones can't, which places them at a disadvantage in the game of survival. Silver fox. Worn only by the nobility and the royal family of Russia, Western Europe, and China, the fur of the silver fox is considered to be one of the most prized in all of the animal kingdom. Why? Because the silver fox is just incredibly rare. But it's not like they're a special breed, it's just a melanistic form of the original red fox. Now, a fun fact, the coloration in the fur can vary greatly from one silver fox to another. In general, however, they share a graying color. Up next is the blue lobster. A lobsterman had this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to catch one of the rarest lobsters in the world. And folks, this isn't photoshopped. This is actually a blue lobster. After catching it, the lobster was bought by the Jones Sport Lobster Company for a measly $10. They kept it for the season and said they would later donate it to an aquarium or release it out into the wild. The owner said that this 7-year-old male lobster surprised her because it was the first ever blue lobster she has seen in her entire life. Cross fox. Just like the silver fox, the cross fox can smash that like button just like you should do if you haven't done so already. But no, in all seriousness, the cross fox is a melanistic color variant of the red fox. It has a unique black stripe running down the back of its spine. Now, even though it's not as rare as the silver fox, it's still hard to find in regions outside of Canada. For example, there was a large population of cross foxes in Idaho, but due to local hunters, their population diminished drastically. Some people have reported spotting a cross fox in Scandinavian countries as well. Let's now continue with harpy eagle, one of the most impressive birds there is. The harpy eagle is one of the most beautiful species of eagle in the world. They can be found in Central America and Brazil, although the population of around 50,000 eagles is sparsely scattered across this vast terrain. That's why it's really hard to spot one. Even though it's the most powerful raptor in its territory, it was still powerless against the destruction of its natural habitat by urbanization. That's why today the IUCN classifies the harpy eagle as vulnerable. On to the next bird. White peacocks. No, this is not Shen from Kung Fu Panda, it's actually a peacock just like the others. Some people might jump to conclusions and assume that this is just an albino version of the blue peacock, but that's not actually the case. The white peacocks have a rare condition called leucism. It's not life-threatening, it just prevents pigments from being deposited in their feathers, hence the white appearance. Now, compared to the average peacocks, these are a little more aggressive and they have a slightly larger train. This means watching them fan out that tail is just so much more enjoyable. Albino snake. Now, we've seen yellow pythons, we've seen black pythons, but we've never seen a completely white python. Well, what you see is a normal snake, but with albinism, a rare genetic abnormality marked by no pigmentation in the animal's eyes or skin. Now, there's one negative side to this. The red eyes caused by albinism significantly reduce the snake's eyesight, but other than that, they're just like normal snakes and they're prized possessions among collectors. Let's now look at the albino snake's cousin, the albino alligator. An albino alligator is an albino alligator, but Cloud is different. That's right, this albino alligator has a name. He's actually one of the rarest animals in the world, and the California Academy of Sciences took him under their wing and kept him out of harm's way. This 26-year-old alligator weighs about 220 pounds and is 9 feet 5 inches long. Because he's an albino, he lacks the pigment melanin. Not only is his skin white like snow, but he also has poor eyesight. Understandably, Cloud's white color will make it difficult for him to survive in the wild, which is why they keep him in captivity. There are only a few alligators like Cloud in the entire world. Have you heard of the king cheetah? People in Zimbabwe think that the king cheetah is a cross between a leopard and a hyena. In 1927, scientist PEACOCKS said that this is a new subspecies of hyena and even gave it a Latin name, Acinonyx rex. In 2012, however, scientists found that this is just a normal cheetah with a rare genetic mutation. You see, instead of the normal coloration of the fur, the king cheetah has cream-colored fur, with big black spots all over and 3 large stripes going down the back of its spine. What a cool mutation! More of those, please! Check out the albino sea turtle. All sea turtles have slim chances of survival after birth. Only 1 in 1,000 make it to the shore, and the chances of these white guys surviving are slim to none because they have no camouflage like the other baby sea turtles. They're prey with a bullseye mark on their back. This little guy was found hatching from one of the green turtle nests in Queensland's Lady Elliot Island. And the reason this little guy is so special is because 1 in every 100,000 eggs laid are albino. The lady that discovered it said that the little guy had trouble crawling out of the nest, but with a little help from her, it finally made the 45-foot journey from the shore to the sea. AKHAL-TEKE horse. If you ask us, there's no difference between this horse and a bronze statue of a horse if you're looking at an image of the two. But if you see them in action, you'll see that this metallic shiny coating on the outside is not just for show. They're called golden horses, and they're a special Turkmen horse breed. In total, there are only 6,600 of these horses in the entire world, and they're the perfect horse for entrance riding, show jumping, and of course racing. In fact, back in the 1960s, Summer Olympics in Rome, Sergei Felatov and his AKHAL-TEKE won the Grand Prix de Dressage. Now, what you have all been waiting for, the purple polar bear. No, this isn't Photoshop, it's a real-life polar bear that turned purple. This formidable female was held at the Mendoza Zoo in Argentina, and it had a rare skin infection. To treat it, the vets prescribed gentian violet while the polar bear was taking her medication. Its fur turned completely purple. However, shortly after the skin infection subsided, the bear was released and the color slowly faded away as she began swimming.
Top 3.
Number 3. Golden Tiger. The Golden Tiger may have been the title of a 1973 movie, but this is the real deal. Unlike a normal tiger, this one has a color variation in its fur caused by a recessive gene. It's called wideband, and it restricts the production of black pigmentation while the tiger's fur is growing. So far, the majority of the golden tigers are kept in captivity, and pretty much all of them can trace their origins to a white tiger called Beam. Number 2. The blue-green tree python. A green tree python is one of the rarest animals in the world. A green tree python that has a rare blue and white pigmentation instead of the regular green one is even rarer. And this one has gray eyes that look like little gems. We never thought we'd say this, but this snake is beautiful. They can be found on the island of Indonesia, New Guinea, and Australia. But good luck finding one. This is one of the rarest snakes in the world and the most expensive one as well. Drum rolls, please. Number 1. VAQUITA. This is a VAQUITA. It's a small species of porpoise that's native to the Gulf of California in Baja California, Mexico. The average size of this animal is about 4.6 feet. Even though they seem to cause no harm to anyone, they're one of the most endangered species on the planet. There are only about 9 of them in the wild, and this is because fishermen catch them in their gill net by accident while fishing for totoaba. Instead of aiming to save the smallest cetacean, the Mexican government is removing non-fishing restrictions in areas where the 9 VAQUITA live. It's only a matter of time before they go extinct. This is Koala with Koality Content. See you soon. YouTube thinks that you should watch this video next.